Good Tuesday afternoon to you, Storm Surge 7 meteorologist Brian James back here in the Storm Surge 7 Command Center talking about some of the colder air that's going to be invading the high plains. Yes, the Arctic Express is definitely headed our way. Not here right now. I hope you're outside enjoying some of the warmer weather. You're going to watch this and then get outside for at least a few minutes and soak in some of the warmer weather and sunshine, because by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, that cold air is going to be making a big surge farther south. Now, the farther south you live, it's going to be a little longer for that cold air to reach you. The farther north you live, it's going to arrive a bit sooner, probably during the day tomorrow. But the models are showing something a little interesting. I want to show you what the computer models are indicating is going to happen during the day tomorrow. Right now, of course, we have plenty of warm air around, and that'll be the case for this evening, and even tonight it won't be that bad. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, temperatures are going to drop back down into these, say, 30s or so. But what's interesting, you see right here, this is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice how the colder air is making its way down toward the south across parts of Kansas, into northwestern Oklahoma, and also northern parts of the Texas Panhandle, and then curls back up into parts of New Mexico. The initial surge of cold air is going to move down toward the south and east, and then we're going to start to get a little bit of a little curl around of some of the colder air. You'll watch that happen as I put this in motion. You'll see a little bit more of the surge of colder air. By the time we get to around, let's say, 9 o'clock or so in the morning tomorrow, you can see how the cold air is still making its way down toward the south, but then around noon, we get a large temperature contrast. That front, at least the models are indicating, is going to stall out and not make progress farther south as we head through the day tomorrow. Whether or not that happens, I'm a little skeptical as to whether or not we're actually going to see the front hang out across the panhandles, but if we do, there's going to be a sharp temperature contrast, and that's going to continue on into the afternoon, with the front actually maybe even lifting a bit farther north before it does make a surge down toward the south. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and you can definitely pick out where that front is, where some of the leading edge of some of the colder air is kind of hanging out. But farther south, now the cold air is still at bay, at least temporarily. You can see the bulk of the cold air across parts of Colorado into Kansas. But as I mentioned, the initial surge of cold air makes its way into Kansas and Oklahoma, and then we get some of the initial waves of colder air tomorrow morning, but they don't last long, at least according to the models. It shows the front hanging up pretty much on top of the cap rock that we have across the high plains, colder air filtering down into some of the lower areas, but it doesn't last long. As we head through tomorrow night, that's when the cold air starts to make a push back down to the south, and then the rest of the area is getting invaded by the colder air as we head through the day tomorrow. So parts of the high plains will stay mild tomorrow. Other parts will be considerably colder, a wide variety of temperatures, but does that front really hang up? That's a good question. For right now, we are going to say yes, but stay tuned, especially tomorrow morning. Storm Surge 7 meteorologist Lissa Pollock will have the latest information on that tomorrow morning on daybreak. Now, in terms of the possibility of snow, there is a prospect for some snow as we head through the afternoon hours of Thursday and Thursday night into Friday. I'm going to go ahead and advance to, this is looking at around noon on Thursday. You can see some of the snow bands developing across northwestern and western parts of the high plains, and then it spreads through the rest of the area as we head through Thursday night on into very early on Friday. And by the time we get to, this is Friday at 6 o'clock in the morning, bulk of the moisture is off to the east, and so by the time we get to Friday afternoon, that snow is long since gone. But there is a chance for some accumulation. The computer model is showing that we have the initial band of snow that develops and moves in. You'll see it develop across eastern New Mexico, northwestern and western parts of the high plains as a band of snow, about, say, 2 to 4 inches or so of accumulation, maybe upwards of around isolated areas 5 inches of snow. But then notice a second band of snow develop across the central and southern parts of the high plains. Now, this is one model's depiction of where the snow is going to develop and where it's not going to develop. And you can see that little gray area showing up in between across northeastern and central parts of the Texas Panhandle. That could shift north or south 50 miles or so, one way or another, depends on the track of the upper level storm. But it looks like some light snow accumulations, certainly enough that could cause some slick spots in some of the area roads. And you'll definitely want to be careful driving around for the Thursday night through Friday morning time frame. May want to plan on leaving for work and or school a little earlier Friday morning, but there is a chance for some light accumulations. Not looking for a major impact, but it is certainly going to be cold around here. That's going to be the main concern. The wind will drop off as we head through the day on Thursday, so the winds will be strongest Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Then by Thursday afternoon, winds will drop off a bit more, but wind chill values are still going to be in the single digits, maybe even below zero for a time, especially during the daylight hours, in which most of the day Thursday, I think we're going to be down in the 20s. So be prepared for some drastically colder weather. If nothing else, it's definitely going to be a shock to the system. Stay tuned to Storm Surge 7, of course, on air and online We'll keep you posted as this cold air invasion takes place and also update the snow totals. We'll have more information coming up on Pro News 7, 5, 6, and 10 this evening. Then, of course, meteorologist Alyssa Pollock will have more information on daybreak tomorrow morning as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep you posted.